This was supposed to be a preparation video for the upcoming Tekrot Encore update. I was just going to level up Kome in an Omnia survival mission and get some prime parts and convert it to ducats later. By the way, the Void Trader is available right now, and you can check him on Strata Relay. He brought the Prisma Oma, and as well as the mod drop chance booster that allows you to farm Arcane faster in Void Cascade missions. Go check him out later, but for now, let's focus on this video about Kome and how good the Warframe is at endgame levels of the game. This Warframe is built for level cap in my opinion, and with these mods alone, I managed to go against level 4000 enemies without breaking a sweat. Now, I have made a Kome video a couple of months ago, and someone said that Kome wasn't the one doing all the damage. Instead, my weapon, specifically the Incarnon torid, was doing all the work. I would want to prove that person that he is wrong, as I have tested all the possible Incarnon torid builds with boost from sources like Mirage Eclipse, but it can't manage to be as lethal when used by Kome. Normally, my Incarnon torid build can shred enemies up to level 400, even against those necromech units in disruption missions. However, the kill speed of the weapon begins to be inefficient once enemies hits level 600 and beyond. When this happens, the gun needs help by using defense stripping. But then again, my Incarnon dual toxicist is more reliable compared to Incarnon torid at level cap. However, this changes when the weapon is wielded by Kome, as you can see in your screen. Level 4000 enemies just melt easily with my Incarnon torid build, and this is possible because of all the crazy buffs I got from Kome's Omakuji skill. Some players are saying that Kome is exciting because of the gambling feature. For example, if you roll 3 6s on her Omamori skill, then it will grant your invulnerability for a period of time. However, this is not the feature that makes the Warframe fun to play with. The best feature of Kome is her ability to use Duviri exclusive decrees in all missions in the game. Her Omakuji will grant you a random decree, and this makes the Warframe insanely broken in level cap missions, such as endless Omnia survival fissures. Now, getting back to my Incarnon torid build, I only have corrosive and magnetic element on this, but there's a decree called Critical Frost that grants cold damage with status if you land critical hits to enemies. With my build, I can easily take advantage of that decree, and this is busted with my Incarnon torid as cold freezes enemies at 10 stack, and it also grants additional critical damage bonus to your hits. In addition, there's also a challenge in the Omikuji skill wherein you need to kill enemies with cold damage, and this is super easy to do when I have Critical Frost in my Incarnon torid. Also, there's decree that increases the damage of all your weapons while moving, and there's also a decree that grants you more fire rate. Then, there's a decree called Vicious Garb that grants double critical damage and it affects all your weapons. Another one is called Twofold Torment, and it doubles the damage of your status effect. But the decrees are not only for guns, as there are melee-specific decrees that boost your close-range weapons damage to insanity. There are also decrees that provides utility like energy maintenance, damage reduction, movement speed, and even health restore per kill. For the list of all decrees that you can get from the Omakuji skill, I have provided the link to its official wiki page in the video description below. The only problem with Omakuji is that at the 8 and subsequent casts of the skill, it will have a 150 seconds cooldown after you have completed the decree challenge. Also, decree acquisition are very random, so you have the chance to get the best decrees early or late in the game. There's also the possibility that you will get the same decree on your next Omakuji, as there are decrees that has ranks and increases their buffs per acquisition. In addition, the headshot challenge is really annoying, as it would be hell to complete this in the Entradi Lab tile set, wherein most Murmur enemies have no heads. Back then, I was hoping that Digital Extremes changed the challenge into weak spot kill so that Murmur enemies will also be included, but I think they got better plans and will release a new augment for Kome that might fix this problem. In the Tekrot Encore update, Digital Extremes will be releasing a new augment for Kome's Omakuji that lowers the cooldown of the skill per weapon kill. Beside Kome's dice, you will see a small circle which depicts your melee, secondary, and primary weapons. Currently, this works as getting extra status for the weapon that you are currently using. For example, if the circle shows melee, then you must use your melee to get the random status buff. In the upcoming update, though, this will be more important, as Omikuji's cooldown will only reduce if you are using the right weapon type. And this means that there's no going out in mission with only one weapon for this Warframe anymore. The final build I am using for my Kome right now is a combination of these 3 Archon mods, plus 2 Umbral mods, Blind Rage, and Adaptation. The last slot is reserved for the new augment of Kome, by the way. Adaptation is really not necessary, and you can use Rolling Guard instead on this build. The one Forma build I have shown you earlier struggled with level 4000 enemies. The kill speed is still there, but the Omamori plus the damage reduction decree can't keep my Kome alive. Hence I decided to add Adaptation as it also works with shields. Then, Blind Rage is not exactly to give my abilities more damage, but I added this mod for the negative efficiency so that I can get more shield from Brief Respite and abuse the shield gating mechanic. Don't worry about energy maintenance, as that is taken care of by Arcane Steadfast and Archon Stretch. In addition, you will get a decree for energy maintenance, and you can spam your abilities with it. Finally, casting speed is a must for this build if we want to abuse the shield gating, and I plan to get as much yellow Tau-forged Archon Shard on this build. The general gameplay of this Kome build is simple, and it will simply task you to focus on completing challenges from your Omikuji skill and getting decrees fast. Then, your first and ultimate abilities are handy when it comes to status spreading, and completing those challenges that requires you to kill enemies inflicted with a specific status effect. These abilities are also great when paired with Condition Overload in your melee, and the Galvanized status mod in your gun to further increase the damage of your weapons. Overall, Kome is such an amazing Warframe to play with at endgame levels, and I really can't wait to get my hands on her new augment. Rest assured that I'll be making an update once I got the new mod, and I'm crossing my fingers that it would really make acquiring decrees faster.
That area has been permanently compromised. Extract!
You exist to strike to win. The lesson.